Are you happy you got to be on camera? Oh, are you happy? Are you happy now? Great. Good morning. Well, it's morning for me anyway. Or is it? Is it actually 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Or is it 9 a.m.? You'll never know. If you're coming back to my YouTube channel, you may have noticed that I'm sitting in a different spot. I normally sit right there on the floor in my beanbag. But I have a new vanity in my room. Wow. And I've decided to move all of my plants in here so that way I can show you just a little 2020 plant haul. So I was about to go fuss at the dogs because they won't shut up. And look at what happened. All over my bed. Good thing I was planning on washing my sheets already. Oh my lord. This is why can't people sleep over. Because I got dirt in my sheets. And now I'm standing up. Wow, talk about really moving up in the world. I need a little bit more flexibility so I can show you these plants better. So first, I'd like to talk about one of my eldest plants and one of the easiest ones I have to take care of. Its scientific name is SANSEVIERIA otherwise known as a snake plant. I actually received this basically as a gift from someone I went to school with at Stephanie Vu. When she gave it to me, it was probably this big, and since then I've actually split it into 2 new plants. The other one's doing great too, and you can see it's already starting to get a whole new little baby. So once that one's big and strong, you can split it, and then I'll have 3 snake plants. So Stephanie, if I ever see you again, I probably owe you a snake plant. So definitely if you're trying to get into houseplants, I recommend a snake plant. It actually sits in one of the darkest parts of my apartment, and so they're very easy to care for. If you forget about them, it's fine. That's why it's often referred to as a mother-in-law's tongue, because it's very resilient. So this next plant that I'm showing off is my peace lily. You know it's peace lily because it's got this lovely flower right here. But it's one of my largest plants. It's pretty heavy. They're very easy to care for. Once again, they don't need a ton of light, just plenty of water, and it's one of those where it will start wilting if it needs water. I only water it if it's starting to look sad, because honestly, overwatering is one of the easiest things to do to houseplants that kills them off. So right here, I just leave it. It sits in my room, takes up the whole ass corner. Beautiful, my love, my darling, and it's great because it blooms all the time. One will die and then a new 1 or 2 will show up. It's great. I love it. Next, we can go ahead and move on to my pothos vine. So I have 2 pothos vines. This is the newest member of my family, and it is a pearl and jade pothos. As you can see, it has these like white and green spots. I actually personally refer to it as my cow pothos because it reminds me of like cow spots. That was already out, so we're fine. It didn't hurt it. But once again, really easy to take care of. It does need a little bit more water than, let's say, the snake plant, but pretty easy. It grows once again in a pretty dark spot of my room, but hopefully I'll be moving to somewhere where it can get a little bit more light and hopefully get some large vines with it. Speaking of large vines, this is my OG pothos. So it actually used to hang, and it was almost as tall as me at one point, and I ended up cutting a lot of it. You can see certain trims, and I turned it into over 20 other vines. I actually gave a bunch of them as gifts to my baristas when I was leaving Starbucks. I don't know if any of them are alive still, but then I have a few more in my home from them. So this one is almost all new growth, and I usually keep it in my living room, and hopefully I'll be moving soon, so I'd really like to be able to extend it and kind of really drape it around some things in my home, because I really think that that is just a gorgeous way to accessorize using a Pothos vine. So once again, really easy to care for. Definitely recommend. Just look at this cute little baby. Look how cute this little baby. Need chill. So another kind of drapey plant that I've been itching to get and finally purchased is this string of beads or string of pearls plant. Look at this little face. But it has all of these little pearls on it, almost like little baby peas. And there's big ones and they're so expensive, so I just got a small one and hopefully I'll be able to grow it a lot bigger. We're already starting to get plenty of little new growths, little new beads coming on. Pretty proud of it. It's similar to a succulent where it doesn't need a lot of water. A good amount of light is great for it. A well-draining pot. And then I also use a pretty well-draining soil, so succulent mix. And so far, he's doing pretty good. Aren't you, Joey? His name's not Joey. So I guess if we're gonna stick in kind of succulent area, I have this guy who, focus, is a little funny looking. Little nubby guy, and so it's a little star cactus because it looks like little stars. You can see, pretty cute. I like this pot. I got it from Goodwill. I love thrifting everything, but I especially love thrifting funky little potters. Even though this definitely looks like someone's middle school pottery class container that they made, but I think it's really unique. There's definitely nothing else in the world like it. So, and it fits this little plant perfectly. So another little guy in the HAWORTHIA family is this HAWORTHIA fasciata. Oh, I said that right. Also known as a zebra plant, though it is not a actual zebra plant. That's also just what it's referred to along with some other plants because it does have these little stripies. He's pretty cute. I have had him for a bit. He hasn't gotten much bigger. I just replanted him into this pot. He was originally in a teapot. Other than not just getting bigger, he's doing pretty well. It's probably about time to water him. He's also type of cactus, so doesn't need a lot of water. Pretty easy living. I'm not a huge succulent person, even though most people seem to think that I am. I really prefer leafy plants, but this is a good guy. He's a good guy. So I guess just to keep going in the succulent cactus world, even though I said I don't like them, I have this bunny ear cactus, which I've had for a bit. I think he's pretty cute. He's a bunny ear because he's got these nice soft little pokies. So normally don't worry too much about them, but if you were to grab them really hard, they would get into your skin. He's got these cute little seashells that I got from a coworker friend, Miranda. She got them from Miami. So I like to keep them with my cactus, give them that good beach vibes, you know? Surfing USA. But pretty cute. Look at that little ear. And then this is also another plant that I have been able to propagate into a few other little cactuses. They are currently at my home, my parents' home, and not with me, or I would show them off, but look how cute. Definitely my favorite kind of cactus. I'm not a huge cactus person, but I like that it's fluffy. You can pet him like a little pony. We'll go through another family of plants that I own a few of, and that's the Peperomia family. I think it's really interesting that all these different little leafy plants live in the same family because most of them don't look very similar. So like right here, these are both types of Peperomia, but as you can see, this one's got some dark green and some red. Beautiful, beautiful red burgundy on the underside of it. And this is a Peperonia metallica. As you can kind of see, like the leaves are a little on the shiny side, go great with this gold. And this is a variegated Peperomia. I haven't had this one for a super long time, but he's doing pretty well. But they have these very rubbery succulent-like leaves, even though I wouldn't necessarily refer to it as a succulent. But I guess once again, it does have this nice red texture, which I'm a huge fan of. And I think he's just so cute, and they are pretty easy to take care of in my experience. I haven't really had any problems with them so far. You usually want to plant them pretty shallow and they don't need a ton of water, which is great, but they do need a good amount of sunlight. Peperomia 1 and 2, but wait, there's more! This is my third Peperomia. So as you can see, this is a little baby one. I got this one, when I originally got this one, it was just a few little leaves, one little stalk, so it's grown a ton. This is a raindrop Peperomia, because you can see their leaves are very raindrop shaped, and once again a cute little thrifted teapot. The teapot was missing a lid, so I wouldn't use it for teapotting, but it works great for potting. I just love pots. But it's so different from the other ones. I think that's so crazy. But he does have these little pink, red accents on its stems. So those are my 3 peperomia plants. Here's another plant that I got that was really, really small when I got it. And I thought it was bigger when I put it in this pot. Clearly not, because it is way too small for this size, but I'm hoping that one day it'll grow to be a big, strong zebra plant. This one I have found to be a little finicky. Obviously I've kept it alive and I've gotten new growth, but definitely one of those where one day it's doing fine and then you turn around and it is limp dick. Whew. So hopefully we can get him growing big and strong. To continue through my little baby plants that I have, these are 2 bromeliad pups. So I initially had a bromeliad, which is a pretty large leafy plant, and then it has the one big flower in the middle. Cute photo. And when they are old, they start sprouting pups, which will actually take up all the energy from the mother, and so the mother starts to die, but it creates these little babies. So hopefully these 2 bromeliads will grow into 2 big ones with 2 gorgeous flowers, but till then they are just my little babies that I'm trying to propagate. They have grown a good amount. You can see this one is getting some good new growth in the middle here. It's weird because they don't really have roots. At least these don't. Like, I can pull them out, see pretty easily, and it's just not a bulb necessarily, but it's just interesting that it's not rooting, and they've been here for a couple months, I think. But very cute, good indoor plants. Tropical, need moisture, warm water, all of that good jazz. So another flowering plant. This is, I believe, to be an annual, which means that it will only flower once and then the entire thing dies. But this is a cyclamen, and it's a winter plant. So usually it blooms in the winter, which is cool because not many flowers do, but it should be an outdoor plant, and you can tell that I've been keeping inside with not a lot of sun because these are how it should look, real dark, and these are a lot lighter. And this is partially just because it's not getting enough sunlight, so I think I'm gonna move it into my room, which gets a lot more sun than the remainder of the apartment. But till then, he's pretty cute. Recommend. I love these leaves and their little patterns on them. It's just a very romantic flower. Definitely, if you ever date me, don't buy me cut flowers, just buy me a lovely potted plant that will last for months, if not years, like our love, versus a bouquet of flowers which will last a few weeks and then die. It's just not as romantic. They don't have a smell. Of course, have to have an aloe plant for once those sunny vacations start and you start getting sunburn. Gotta have some aloe. Whew. This one has definitely grown a lot since I've gotten it. So much that I can't even keep this one up, so I usually prop it up against the window so it holds itself up. But we're getting some new little aloe leaves. Once again, it's a succulent, so it doesn't need a lot of water. Pretty easy to care for, and oh, she thick. She getting thick. So now on to two of my most prized plants that I actually have really been struggling with lately. So if you know the answer, let me know. I think that they might have spider mites. It's kind of like a spider, kind of like a mite. I think it's an insect, so it doesn't have 8 legs, but it creates these little webs and will basically kill the plant because I've been having a lot of the leaves turn yellow and sad, like so sad, so quickly, like overnight, all of a sudden come back and it looks horrible. It is my Alocasia Polly plant. So right now I actually have separated it into 2 different pots. Originally, like, swear to goodness, like a week ago, this baby used to have like 8 leaves, and then just slowly, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or something's wrong with it, but it is sick. But hopefully we're on the road to recovery. It's just such a gorgeous plant, and it is really difficult to care for. All the plant forms and stuff I've looked up on, they're like, don't even try growing one, but it's lasted maybe 6 months, so, you know, I think I'm doing pretty well. But like, look at these leaves. It's also referred to as an African mask because it does have like this shape where you would wear it like a mask sort of thing, and just these great patterns. And look at how dark and purple the undercarriage is. It just really is a great plant, and I really hope that I can keep it going. I will keep you in the loop if you're interested. If you have any insight onto how to keep my baby from dying, please let me know. But I am pretty excited because now I have 2 different pots with the bulbs in them. So hopefully that means if they both turn into healthy plants, they will be great. But the orange one that I just showed you right here, actually until this morning had 2 leaves on it, and I had to cut one off. So it's not looking good, but hopefully we're on the up and up. Okay, so thanks for bearing with me. We are on to our last couple plants. This is an anthurium. I love the leaves on this guy. I think they're so beautiful. If you couldn't tell, I'm a leafy gal. Once again, something with this like beautiful red leaf stem and gorgeous green leaves. So right now I've been struggling a little bit with this guy. He or she has been with me for a pretty long time, but they make these gorgeous red lily-like flowers, and unfortunately, in order to be able to get them to create new flowers once they die, they have to go through a 60-day drought period during the winter. So that's what I have been doing. I have watered it only a few times in the past maybe month, and I don't know if it should be completely dry or not, but it is starting, you know, I'm starting to lose some bits of leaves. I had some new growth that are starting to dry up, and hopefully it is all for good cause and they end up blooming, because they, like I said, they really do create a really beautiful red bloom. If not, I love the leaves, and it's a gorgeous, I think, statement. Love to have it around, so hopefully she will make me some babies soon. But basically, I am treating this plant like a Republican would. Her body, my choice. Make some frickin' babies for me, okay? Okay. All right, let's put her down. Lastly, I just oh no, not lastly, I have a couple more. Couple more from the couple more. Dude, I don't know what it's called. My parents gave it to me, but it's pretty cool. It's got these little like curly, weird ridge leaves, and it actually makes these little pups that you can easily break off. They fall off naturally, but they have their own roots and they grow just wherever they fall. Kind of an invasive plant, similar on the succulent side. This one lives outside, but I thought it was interesting to share because I really haven't seen anything like this before until my parents gave it to me, and I can't call the name and I didn't care to look it up. So just a fun guy. The last, just about actual last, I just got for Christmas, finally, after years of waiting, years of wanting, years of yearning, I now have this, my very own Fiddle Lead Fig. Look at how tall, how beautiful. I know. Look at these leaves. Look at this green. This green. Oh, how shiny, how beautiful. Shout out to my grandparents for really rocking it this Christmas. But anyway, here we go. Here is, normally I have lots of plants sitting right there, but anyway, here is a majority of the plants that live in my house because I just needed to show the world how extremely plant lady crazy I can be. Oh, look, there's this guy over here. He was not featured because I was too lazy to go grab him. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. If you're interested in seeing any more plant videos, please let me know. I would love to share with you all of my little babies over and over and over and over and over again. And I also have lots of outdoor succulents, so if you want a video dedicated just to the bit of succulents I have, feel free to let me know. But like I said, I'm definitely a leaf lady. If you couldn't tell, love me some leaves. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Emma, and I will see you later.